This is Total Coverage on Channel 5 Eyewitness to the Week. Tonight's top story.
A night of fun at the Mall of America ends in death. That's our top story. Good evening. Mike Binkley has the night off. You probably don't consider escalators dangerous, but for a young man who chose to straddle the handrails of an escalator at the Mall of America last night, the move was not only dangerous, but fatal. Channel 5's Vinita Sarkar explains what happened.
Witnesses say it happened fast. A 24-year-old man was on the escalator. He had spent some time at the Mall of America's fourth-floor entertainment area. The bars had closed. It was after 1. Police say the man was reportedly sitting on the escalator's railing.
The witnesses observed this guy straddling the railing of the escalator between the second and third floor and appeared to slip and fell down to the ground floor.
The man was with a few friends here at the mall last night, but police say no one was right next to him at the time of the accident.
From what they were able to gather from the witnesses, it appeared completely accidental.
Mall security was on hand soon after the accident happened. They tried to give the man first aid before paramedics arrived, but it was too late. The 24-year-old was pronounced dead at HCMC.
Obviously, we ask guests to follow the directions on the escalators and ride them as they are intended to be ridden down. So other than post regulations, I'm not quite sure what we can do at this point.
McFarland says it is a tragic accident, the first of its kind in the mall's history. In Bloomington, Vinita Sarkar, Channel 5 Eyewitness News.
Authorities have not released the man's name, but they do tell us the medical examiner will be checking his blood alcohol level. There's also concerns at the Mall of America's underwater world. A disease outbreak at this popular walk-through aquarium has killed 175 fish this week. But aquarium officials insist the overall fish death is not high. Before this recent outbreak, only 33 fish had died since the opening day, June 15th. Early this summer, a former staff member alleged pressure to meet the opening date led to shortcuts, putting fish at the risk of disease. Outside aquarium consultants say they haven't seen any evidence of this. A day at the fair turns disastrous when fire rips through a crowded grandstand. It happened early this evening just as the Pine County Parade was wrapping up in Pine City. The fire quickly spread across the 40-year-old wooden grandstand. Eyewitnesses say the air was thick with black smoke. Ironically, the town's firefighters were marching in the parade at the time and had to quickly scramble in order to battle the flames. We're told 2 firefighters received minor injuries and 1 woman was treated for smoke inhalation. Anoka County fire investigators tonight are still not sure what set off an intense fire at their county fair. It happened early this afternoon and put a real scare into those nearby of the Midway. This game trailer got the most damage, and eyewitnesses tell Channel 5 flames were shooting high in the sky and the smoke was everywhere. 3 people were treated for smoke inhalation. It left others pretty shaken.
Everybody was telling us to get out of the ride, and so we all ran over there because the fire was like right at this tent. Now these 3 rides don't work because it melted the wire of those things, so.
Were you scared?
Yeah, I was really scared.
Investigators say the fire is suspicious. No one has been arrested. Here's the latest on the St. Louis County deputy who was shot in the face during an 8-hour standoff today. It happened this morning near the town of Tower while the suspect was holed up in a house. The deputy was shot when he apparently tried to open the door. Other sheriff's deputies surrounded the house and evacuated neighbors in the area. The standoff ended after tear gas was used.
You know, if he came out without a weapon, everything would be fine. He did not come out, so our emergency response team used gas projectiles.
Right now, the 47-year-old deputy is in stable condition in a Duluth hospital. An apparent domestic dispute sparked the confrontation. An Edina grandmother is dead tonight after the car she was riding in was broadsided. The car was passing through the intersection of Wheeler and West 7th when it was hit. The impact pushed one of the cars into the front yard of a house. The driver of the car that struck the woman's car is in critical condition. The woman's 2 grandchildren were in the vehicle at the time of the accident, but they were not hurt. Another terrifying accident took place overnight. Look at this. A car smashed into a fire truck at an intersection in Brooklyn Park, flipping the truck on its side. Police say an extensive power outage in the area caused the stoplights to go out, so the car didn't stop. Authorities have not released the names of the people who were injured. Day 2 of the Uptown Art Fair has come and gone, and the crowd just keeps on growing. Organizers expect about 350,000 people to stroll through the area along Lake and Hennepin by the conclusion of the 3-day event. This is one of the biggest art fairs in the country with more than 500 artists on hand. Now, if you've put off going until now, you still have one more day. The Uptown Art Fair wraps up tomorrow night at dusk. Well, if you don't want to fight a big crowd to check out some artwork, we've got a couple of alternatives for you. Stop by the Powderhorn Festival of the Arts. More than 170 artists are setting up shop in Powderhorn Park from 11 to 5 on Sunday. Over at 39th Street and Bryant Avenue South is the Lindale Farmstead Art Festival. 50 artists are showing off their best stuff this weekend. This art festival continues tomorrow from 10 to 5. Well, we had a pretty nice day to get out to all of those festivals and plenty of other outdoor stuff. And meteorologist David George is here now with a first look at weather. And is this going to hold up for the rest of the weekend, or?
Well, it may not. But August is off to a good start.
Sure is.
The only thing we've had to deal with really for the past 2 days is increasing wind, increasing humidity, but it looks like thunderstorms could play a part of your Sunday plans. In fact, some big storms in the Dakotas right now, some localized severe thunderstorm warnings, and we have 2 tornado watch boxes out across the Dakotas tonight. And those storms that are out west will gradually head east. We'll talk about that in a few moments.
All right, look forward to it. Thanks, David. Well, what could be more convenient than registering to vote at a convenience store? Tonight, Channel 5's Katie Boo explains the theory behind Minnesota's latest innovative voter registration drive.
Some of these shoppers came to Super America to pick up a few items, and they left newly registered voters.
We decided to bring the government to the people instead of asking the people to come to the government and register to vote.
First time I registered, you know. Just thought I'd like to vote one of these days.
Organizers from the State Office of Diversity and Councils on Color set up at 4 SA stores in economically disadvantaged neighborhoods. Studies show low voter registration in areas with high poverty. Organizers say these stores are also responsible for the neighborhood.
I think it's important that the business community that's part of the community get involved and say that we are all part of the neighborhood and we all got to be part of making sure that government is for the people.
Registering people to vote is just part 1 of this drive. Part 2 is actually getting people to vote, and that includes educating them about the issues.
Organizers plan to return to these neighborhoods 2 or 3 times a year to explain laws affecting the folks who live here. They also take new voters to the Capitol to talk to legislators.
Part of a follow-up to what we're going to be doing to this is some voter education. Not so we influence people necessarily in terms of who they vote for, but just so they can make intelligent decisions.
Organizers say the first intelligent decision is signing up to vote.
In this state, it's the first time that I registered to vote, so hopefully my vote will help.
Katie Boo, Channel 5, Eyewitness News.
If you missed today's voter registration drive, we have a number you might want to jot down. Call the State Office of Diversity at 296-4600. Be sure to call weekdays during business hours. Someone at this number can tell you who's holding another registration drive near you, or they can mail you a registration form. If you didn't have time to grab a pencil, we'll repeat the number again in just a few minutes. In the Twin Cities tonight, sleeping outside to make a statement. Take a look at this. Tents are going up at Powderhorn Park. Folks living in this neighborhood are camping out tonight to promote safety in the neighborhood. They want people to know the park is a safe place to be, day or night. Also in the Twin Cities tonight, a warm welcome home for Minnesota reservists supporting troops in Bosnia. Lots of hugs and a few tears as families are reunited after almost 8 months apart. For one of the reservists, this homecoming was especially important.